Hey everyone, me Kevin here. Welcome back to another market closing live stream. Starting a little bit later than usual today. I was actually just filming a few options course lectures in the Stocks and Psychology of Money group. Super excited to release those. But folks, let's go ahead and see what the heck is going on in the market. I'm excited as usual to see what is going on. Let's jump on over to Webull and figure out what's going on. The big question that we have right now is, will the tech rally, so to speak, or the particular rally that we're seeing in crypto, will these rallies continue? Right now, look, oh wow, all of a sudden, look at Intelia coming up 14.88% with a rally going into the end of the day here. Actually, just really starting at the end of the day here. We started out somewhat up, but mostly traded sideways and flat here, but incredible push here at the end of the day. This almost makes you wonder if it's fund buying, because we went from volume of around 40,000, 30,000 to volume of about $100,000 more. I'm sorry, 100 to 200,000 shares more. That's incredible. That is an incredible push there into the close. Looks like we've got Fannie and Coupon moving up as well. Want to look at Bitcoin here. Bitcoin's still been moving flat. Look at that. Throughout this morning, we've been pretty much flat. Well, now afternoon. Look at that. We had some incredible movements this morning. Take a look at these movements right here. Solid, increasing slope, 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 slope. Now we're getting into this consolidation here. I'm going to quickly pull up the volume charts here. Let's see if we've just got a volume crush happening right now, because it almost feels like we've got a volume crush going on just looking at that chart. So we're going to go BTC USD. We'll use the Coinbase pricing. And let's see what we've got in terms of volume here. What's happening? So volume, it's actually not, and that's weird. It's actually not horrible. We did have a spike right here, which was this morning. This is kind of where the flatness started. And it's kind of started, I mean, that's so weird. It's not like it's much lower. If anything, it's higher than at some of these points right here. So you've got higher volume right now trading around here. This implies that we're getting a little bit of resistance in the market at this price. I know I drew this as a support line, but we could potentially be seeing some form of a resistance by folks somewhere around this 36.6 line. I'm going to go ahead and draw that. Let's go draw this in as a relatively weak support and resistance line set here. And let's see if we stay within this range or what's happening here. And it's possible after kind of especially with this higher volatility, it'd be it'd be one thing if volume were rotating down and then price was consolidating. That would be okay. But to see basically price flat and high volume, little bit more something I want to pay attention to. It's possible that we could be setting up for a break to the downside, not trying to, FUD or anything, but we did have some pretty neat rocket ships to the upside here. It's possible we could revisit some of our lower channels here, that 32.9 being a very hard support. We'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens if we do come back down. If we do, that's going to create some of a very nice buying opportunity, and I'm going to be looking for that. Now, if it runs out of this channel and we go back to 40K, that's okay by me. I want to see people make money, but I am definitely going to be paying attention to this potentially rotating down after this consolidation, this high volume consolidation that we're seeing right now. You're actually also kind of seeing some of this already getting priced in. Look at Riot, for example. Riot was up 10% this morning. Now it's only up 4.7%. Marathon was up 11%. It's only up 5.5 right now. That's a little bit of a tell that the market might be saying, hey, we might be pricing in a little bit of a potential move to the downside. So that is very, very common to see that. It's a good buy the dip opportunity, to the person triple C or whatever. You're just like, stop fudding, Kevin. I literally said, this isn't FUD. This is just basic technical analysis. Literally said it. If you don't want to hear perspective, if you just want to hear, we're going to the moon, get out of here. That's not what you're going to get. You're always going to get perspective. And I'm looking to make money, not just play games. I want to make money. I want to get in. And I want to make money. And that's what we've been doing. That's why we've been buying the dip as well. So let's go ahead and look at losers at the moment. And then we're going to go through the mid-range a bit more. But that is interesting to see Riot and Marathon pull back a little bit. Something to keep an eye on, especially as we're flatlining a little bit on BTC. Could just be preparing for breakout, which would be great. So then we've got other things to look at. We've got, MRIN has just absolutely gone nuts today. It's so crazy. I mean, the thing was up like 20% this morning. The thing's got an $80 billion market cap, probably more now. It's probably like $160 billion market cap. And the thing is up 140% today after being up like 100% yesterday. It's too hot of a tamale for me to get into at this point. It's not one that I'm moving on. Up 81% yesterday after being up. Look at this. This stock literally went up 86%, 8%, 81%, 104, now 42%. Unbelievable. It's a very, very small market cap. It's trading and behaving like a penny stock. So you got to be very careful. If you're going to be in, if you're making money on it, hey, great. You can hodl, but I'd be careful hodling for too long. It's very, very common for these to rotate back down, especially if they start getting overvalued. So I would keep an eye on this. But hey, so far, people are killing it with this. And this is very, very exciting. So if you're killing it, you're in it, you're making money. The one thing I would be careful of would be short-term calls. Like if you got a Friday call on this, I'd probably be looking at taking some tendies. If you had shares, I think you have more patience to be able to have built in you. But calls can get crushed pretty fast, especially if we see a volatility crush. So we'll see what's happening here. So yeah, somebody here mentions they got in and out already. Congratulations. Very, very, very cool. You do see a little bit of a decline so far in volume, but you're actually not seeing that selling pressure yet. Now, we do have 20 minutes to go to the closing bell, so maybe you'll see some selling pressure here at the close. But so far, volume pretty good. Very, 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 very cool right now. So good, good, good. Then we've got SoFi. Yeah, SoFi, this is actually perfect. We have had a strong declining trend here on SoFi all day, which is excellent because I just started nibbling yesterday at about 17.72. I was not happy that this thing ran back up to $20 this morning, and I said, you know what? I guess I'm standing by and waiting for this thing to potentially come down again for me to keep buying the dip. I'm very much a buy the dipper. I'm not going to get into the FOMO. I'm not going to get into these sorts of declines. But what we can do is we could draw a little bit of draw some trends here. Let's see how this is oops. Okay, my trend lines are being a little sticky. There we go. That's a little better. So I'm just roughly drawing some trend lines here. I want to get an idea of the rate of decline that we're seeing right now. So right now it looks like we're about a 26% decline. We had a much larger decline this morning. Yeah, 56 to 40-ish%. If I pull this down, where are we? Yeah, at 28%. I go out over here. If we drop down over here, that'd be closer to 30%. We're not seeing as much of a decline as we saw this morning, which is good. And it's coming after a period of consolidation. We have a lot of volume this morning, especially selling volume for the purpose of this. Volume's definitely slowed down substantially. I think a lot of traders moving in and out of this one. Personally, I'm looking for a deal on this. I'm going to keep an eye on this right now. It does look like we're starting to get, no, we're still getting lower lows. And we're also getting lower highs. Oops, let's delete this here. Not all. There we go. All right. So let's try that one more time. There we go. So let's watch this. I don't know, unless we get a lot of volume, that we're going to get any kind of breakout here on SoFi. But I'm going to actually look. It's kind of potentially happening as I speak of it. We'll see what happens here. I'm going to go to kind of this last candlestick here, and we'll see. This could be a nice wedge breakout. We'll see what happens. I like SoFi. I'm not opposed to adding to SoFi. If I were to add to SoFi, probably would add a little bit less than what I added yesterday. It might be something like, let's see, maybe we'd go with, like 10K or something like that. So I'll keep that active trade window open. Okay, so let's see what we got. Otherwise, Wayfair bounced off 300. Pretty common to see it bounce off 300. Intelia, that 13%, is still an incredible movement here. Really, really incredible movement. Got Arcimoto all of a sudden rallying into the close. Pretty cool to see a nice rally here into the close on Arcimoto. Very happy to see that. All of a sudden, we got some big volume coming in. Looks like we had sudden shares of, looks like a couple batch purchases of a few 100,000. Absolutely incredible. The live stream. Yeah, the live stream notification. I actually manually have to do those notifications on the Meet Kevin app, or they come in 7 minutes after. And so I forgot to do it manually today. Usually if I open the live stream and then I push the button, it's perfect. It's faster than YouTube. Sorry about that. But yeah, if you want to download the Meet Kevin app, usually get those notifications way faster than YouTube gives them. So, okay, let's see what else. Ashford Hospitality has been so volatile lately. Virgin Galactic really dropping like a rock here after that FAA approval. Yeah, look at that. We've pretty much seen this happen before. Wow, almost sitting right about here. Oops. Let's go put a horizontal here. That's a pretty good lid. Yeah, right about here. There we go. That's a pretty good lid of what we've seen before. Problem is we don't have a lot of support levels between where it sits now and maybe 40. Let me see. Yeah, 42 maybe as a prior peak, prior resistance as a support now, maybe. But you really, I feel like, don't have support until you get into about that $40 price range. So it'll be interesting to see where Virgin Galactic goes. If we go into the 30-minute right here on Virgin Galactic, we've been pretty well down all day, down to 47 right now. Not bad. Didn't think it should have run as much as it did off that FAA approval, but boy, oh boy, that was a runner. So Bitcoin, keeping an eye on Bitcoin, still range bound right now. We're going to also keep an eye on SoFi. SoFi, go to the 1 minute chart here. Still getting that breakout climb into the close here, which is very, very good. That trend sort of reversing here. We just broke above this high. We're breaking above this high right now. This is a good recovery back here. If we can break above like 1912, 1912 is a really good line. Look at this, folks. So I'm going to drop 1912 here. And look at these touches. Okay, ready for this? Touch, touch. You've almost got a lid over here. You're kind of a shelf right here. You're a touch here. Close touch here. You're a touch here. 1912, folks. That's a number to watch. So 1912, good breakout at the moment, but we'll see if we even get above 19 first. Keeping an eye on SoFi. Still want to average in on this. Okay, so Marathon and Riot implying less of a run here on crypto, or forecasting less of a run. Let's see Workhorse for a moment. So Workhorse 1722. I did close my Workhorse position profitably. 70. Oh, nice. Okay, it ended up running a little bit towards the end of the day. You got to run back to 1762. That's awesome. Cool. Very, very cool. All right. See what else we have. Etsy 195. We're at 202 on Etsy. Very good. Workhorse, Twilio, Neo sitting at 1.73, over $50 again. Too expensive for me to chew, but I'll take it. Ubiquity 0.94, Lemonade 0.65. Okay, Virgin Galactic, yeah, it's still sitting at that 14 range here. Wish 6.42 to the downside. Let's see what's happening with Wish a little bit. J-Brew, that's awesome. J-Brew says, sweet learning the lines in classes. Had 19.3, 13 on mine. Hey, that's pretty close. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, hey, remember that we do have that 40% off coupon code. I'm not leaving for those courses linked down below. So here looking at Wish. Look at Wish having bounced out that 1530. So now rotating back to the downside. Okay, we're going to watch this trend on Wish. Going back, I want to go back to the minute, though, on SoFi here. Let's watch SoFi a little more. Yeah, still struggling to get above that 19 figure right now. That's really where we're struggling. It's all right. Okay. Fanny, Marathon, this is the same. Bitcoin's trading sideways. Tattooed Chef at 21. Hey, Tattooed Chef had a little bit of a breakout here towards the end of the day. Look at that. Let's go to 5 min. Yeah, nice. Good rally here on Tattooed. Good. Go to the 1 hour here on Tattooed. Yeah. Oh, 21. We've sat here before. Sweet. Hopefully all the SPACs come back like this. This is good. Coinbase. Coinbase also rotating a little bit down as crypto is flattening. It's kind of a weird correlation to see. But you see Coinbase was running pretty well. Nice rally because Bitcoin was up until the opening, basically. Bitcoin was running. We were seeing those increasing slopes. And then all of a sudden, Bitcoin goes flat. What happens? Volatility comes back to the crypto stocks. Totally makes sense. This is why it's so important to watch those trends on BTC, especially if you're in the crypto stocks. AMD finally moving again a little bit. I mean, there's been your sideways trader for a while. Like, look at this. Channeled. Now, I know it's a big channel. Sitting between that 73 and 100, but you could really narrow the channel down to like 80 to 70 and you'd hit the bulk of this. It's been something else. Yeah, like you could really probably go here roughly just to sort of see the channel, and then probably right. Oh yeah. See, look at that. Now all of a sudden the channel becomes much more readily apparent that you're sitting between that 77.82 and that 90 level right here on AMD. Hopefully AMD starts running again. It's been a bit. It's been a minute. AMD running because of bad news on Intel. Yeah, the delays, right? Absolutely. And then NVIDIA does have that split coming up. This is true. So then we've got AMC down 2%. Volatility kind of getting crushed a little bit over here at not seeing big pushes to the upside or swings to the downside, which trading sideways is very, very expensive for options traders. So it's something to keep in mind. Great for stockholders, though. It doesn't do anything for stockholders, shareholders. Mind Medicine dropped 6% today. Why? Woo! Got to get that other cup of coffee. All right, maybe not. I guess I'll have to wait until after the closing. So we are Mind Medicine. Let's go out to a day. I've been looking for an entry on Mind for a while here. It's been tough. I love these dips that we had in May, but I don't expect we're going to revisit this May pricing. Let's see, 4, 3, 7. Okay. May pricing, yeah, that's interesting. Oh, yeah, April was even worse for Mind Medicine. May was just all around rough for a lot of growth companies. So, okay, sitting around 385. Keep an eye on it. I don't think I'm particularly convinced. At this point, I'm kind of looking for deals. It's kind of like, what can I get that's like, in my opinion, relatively undervalued? Personally, I think it could end up being something like a SoFi. I don't mind it going down right now, though, in fairness, because we got big lockup agreements coming up, and I just selfishly want to buy more of it. I'm just being transparent with you. Like, please go to 14, please. Like, if this thing went down to under 15, probably throw a few $100K at it. Like, even if I have to borrow it on margin. That sounds bad, but that's probably what I would do if we got down to that level. Don't know if we will, but obviously, as usual, we'll keep an eye on them. Italia, this one just wow. I mean, and CRISPR's not really keeping up with this. What's going on over here? CRISPR, I think, is actually down a bit today. Yeah, down 0.65%. How's Tesla? Tesla is down 1.18%. Not as bad as how much it was down earlier, but I actually got a little bit of a rally here into the close. Look at that crazy up and down here during the day. Oh, well, that's Tesla for you. All right. Let's take a peek at CNBC.
SEC approval for a similar crypto investment vehicle. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, I've never heard that one before. Oh, SoFi won't go to that logo. Come on. It's happened before recently. It can happen again. Look, folks, it can happen again. Look at these numbers here. You go back to March, you're sitting at the 15 to a low of 1380-ish region here. 13, 14. Look at that. Here's a 15. Here's a 1464. And I understand these were moments during this downtrend, but this is an entire quarter of downtrending. And we've just started a substantial downtrend. So right now we're bouncing off the 19, but never say never. It tends to bite you on the butt. Yeah, Arcimoto's having a great day. Arcimoto's doing well. Let's listen in.
Coin Trust is a good example of this.
IPOE time makes no difference, in my opinion. It's SPAC's a SPAC.
And there's a lot of things playing into this. But from Friday to Monday, you get 5 times the gap risk that you would have in an underlying instrument like Apple, or even a commodity tracking ETF like USO or GLD. So I think some of those people who have a little bit higher risk tolerance would have no use for it. You also have a second use case, which is a more traditional investor at a brokerage firm that hasn't done business with a digital asset provider. I think they will likely use these types of instruments to dip their toes in the water, so to speak. But I would argue that's a shrinking pool over time. The third one is the more strategic investor, those that are looking to participate in Bitcoin or crypto in a non-binary manner. Like, some people don't want to take short-term bets or long-term hodls. There's a big group of people out there that want to utilize options to explore the gray area, to trade volatility in ranges. And I think that's the biggest opportunity here to explore listed options on an underlying that has high correlation to Bitcoin. You see this outside of the United States. The U.S. market participant doesn't really have access to that. And where you do have access, the feature set and the liquidity is still maturing. So I do think...
All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull off the Coinbase talk here. We're going to go back to the sticks here. We can, though, briefly look at Coinbase. Coinbase is one that is rallying today, though giving up a little bit. Again, we mentioned earlier, because of that flattening we're seeing in Bitcoin's price action. Coinbase did very, very well and hit some higher levels here while Bitcoin was running. Jump over here into BTC. You could see, back up a couple $100. Let's see if we can break above this. We are above this right now on the 30-minute candle, but barely 5-minute candle, barely peeking our heads over. Looks like just here on the minute candlestick, we finally got a little bit of a push. Let's see if this ends up getting us officially over. Sorry, the channel. So we'll see. All right. Intelia, come on. Okay, this is relatively similar. We're also now, because of that breakout, seeing a little bit of a rotation up here on Voyager. Not yet on Riot or Hut, though I think that'll come. 5 minutes to the closing bell. Tattooed Chef, 4%. Going down, BTX, 14% to the downside. This was one of those insane runners, folks. This is, to me, and I don't want to sound, like wet blanket-ish, but this to me is a little bit of what could potentially happen to something like a Marin. BTX has, oh my gosh, and BTX has a market cap right now where it sits of $784 million. The thing literally went parabolic and then came straight back down. And right now at here, it's a 784 market cap. That's crazy. The Marin right here is like $160 million market cap. So like 1/8, and it's on its way doing that. Doesn't mean it can't run like crazy though. Oh, that's not Marin. It's Marin. There we go. Yeah, that's crazy. And it's pretty incredible. Well, congratulations to whoever was in that one. That's some dollars. You know what the company needs to do is the company needs to raise some money. Not saying anybody, I want to see anybody get hurt, but that'd be smart for that company. They could finance a lot. Okay, Dogecoin. Yeah, over 26. Look at that. Good. Let's go to the 30-minute here. Here we go. Nice. Good recovery on Doge. Nice uptrend too. Very, very, very solid uptrend in the last few days here. Oops. Let's go ahead and kill that. Did not mean to put that there. Yeah, something of this effect, roughly. Tough to get that triple point here, that triple touch, but the trend is pretty evident at the moment, which is good. It's not a massive trend, but it is there. 10%. Okay, good. Let's go SoFi again. Oh, AMC, I see Pedro. We talked about AMC. What is it doing, something special? Not really. It's doing nothing. Scroll back a little bit. We talked about AMC. Okay, let's take a peek at SoFi. SoFi rotating down into the close. Couldn't get over the line. Kind of going back towards wedge ranges here. Let's listen to this.
Criticizing this little leg of the rally about not being particularly broad, more stocks down than up on average. I mean, not necessarily every day. It is the case again today on the New York Stock Exchange. Fewer than 1,500 stocks to the upside, 1,800 to the downside. Also have a volume skew that is tilted toward declining stocks on both the NASDAQ and the NYSE. The positive spin on this is we're kind of correcting internally, and the overall indexes are kind of held harmless on all this. Here is the high beta or very cyclical and risk-seeking ETF against the low volatility ETF on a 1 month basis. And you see that the more defensive names have actually sort of held steady, but therefore have outperformed the high beta ETF, which has lost some ground. And then the volatility index, it's gotten just a little bit of an upward tilt in the afternoon here today, just over 16. That's a year-to-date look at the volatility indexes. It may be kind of bumping along a very short-term low in the 15, 16 area. Maybe so. We have a jobs report, remember, on Friday. It's just one excuse, perhaps, for people to do some bidding. And there is really steady demand for kind of deep downside protection if you look at how the option structure is right now, whether that's smart money or not. It seems like people are willing to bet to protect themselves after a half year of good gains.
As we head into the close, 1 minute left. Take a look at the Dow, up 25 points, dipped briefly negative just around the top of the hour or so. Back higher again. Home Depot, Goldman Sachs, and Nike contributing to the gains. Boeing, United Healthcare, and Disney are the biggest drags on the Dow. So really mixed picture.
Boeing, United, and Disney. Is it a surprise that recovery is dragging? No, not at all. All right, here we go, folks. We are going into the close. Goodbye. Let me see. Last second. Is there anything I can go by? No, I didn't get a last second drop at SoFi. All right, here comes the bell.
Or so from here. Apple, biggest contributor there. Microsoft, Moderna is having a very good day after it shows resilience against some of the COVID variants. Some of the media stocks are higher. Tesla and Facebook, interestingly, are not. And the chip stocks continue to work here. There goes the bell.
All right, there we have the closing bell. Thanks to CNBC. Look at that. Dow barely up. S&P barely up, both up 0.03%, NASDAQ 0.19%, and the Russell 2000 for those recoveries down 0.58%. All right, let's go ahead and look at the individual sticks to see how things closed. We got earnings, by the way, coming up soon again, which will be really fun. We'll have a new big earnings season coming up for Q2. Q2 is going to be huge for earnings. We are expecting a whole lot of excitement, a lot of insights specifically into inflationary pressures. We want to hear those earnings calls. We want to see what inflationary pressures we're looking at. Is that inflation going to go away? If you haven't watched my video yet on the stagflation concern, watch the stagflation video that I posted. Really, really, really good. And of course, join those programs down below to build your wealth. All right, let's focus on the closing sticks here. So we got Intelia up another 13.6%. Absolutely incredible after the run we saw yesterday. Bitcoin actually moving a bit right now, slightly moving above the channel that we just drew for it. It's been channeled for most of the day. Let's see if Bitcoin can officially close out over this line or if it's going to do one of these little baby peaks and then come back in. We've got Marathon Digital and Marathon Digital and Riot Blockchain pricing in a little bit of a slower growth for Bitcoin than they were earlier in the day when Bitcoin was running like crazy. A little bit of a rotation down towards the close on Coinbase and Tattooed Chef. Not a surprise to see a little bit of a rotation back on Coinbase, specifically because of those expectations for a BTC run. I mean, you can very, very clearly see that when you look at BTC. This morning here, we were moving very, very, very nicely, and that is very much slowed down by essentially completely flattening and channeling. So now we can run on over to DoorDash. DoorDash up to 4.65%. Let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit on DoorDash. There we go. Collapse this a little bit too. And on DoorDash, we've had a great day, great trading day. And it's actually not doing horribly here on the day charts. It's finally coming back to its IPO pricing right around the 180s. Finally back to this pricing. Fell all the way down to 110 over there in May, which was absolutely nuts. Yeah, I agree. A little bit of a boring trading day. HUD 8 mining, 4.5. What else do we have? ChargePoint's been doing pretty decently, especially on renewed optimism over the infrastructure bill, despite it being a lot less than we were expecting. Look at this gorgeous support line, though, that we have for ChargePoint. If we ever get down to this line on ChargePoint, to me, I look at this, I go, like it or not, you buy this thing. We might be fractionally high on this one. I want to drop this one a little bit. Let's go to at least like right here. Yeah, this gives us a better idea. That's 4 touch points off that line here. Right about that 1970 line. 4 touch points there. Pretty strong support. So if you ever got anything close to here again on charge point, something to keep an eye on. Etsy, incredible moves here recently. Look at that breakout. It's interesting here. Very, very interesting. But this was expected, the tech breakout. We had that in a few different places. Very good for Etsy. Neo up about 1.8. Not surprising here. Going to the bottom. Wish, Virgin Galactic. Sens. How's Sens been doing? Sens actually pretty decent here. It's got a double in it within the last month. I mean, a lot of things did very, very well in the last month, which is great. Now the question is, how long is it going to last? Let's listen in. Who's this here on CNBC for a second? Who this?
Second half where we're going to see FDA approving some drugs. We got some of that with Biogen. And I just think that group is underperforming. You want to put some more capital to work there because it has underperformed over the course of the 2021 year and should do better in the back half.
Victor, as we get to the end of the quarter, do you think earnings will deliver sufficiently for these record highs?
Good question.
I do think they'll deliver. I think whether or not the market yawns like we did in quarter one and sort of anticipates the fact that we're going to see decelerating growth into the back half of the year, margins with accelerating margins or increasing margins, rather, or not. I think that's the biggest question. I do think, this was a really light earnings week. You've got a handful of
boring. Yeah, longs or shorts on charge point, Drew. If the price was right, I'd go long on it. That's what I'd be looking at. So, yeah, no, I don't know of any earnings today, at least of companies that I'm super familiar with. Someone here says cost to borrow on SoFi $250. Where'd you find that? I was looking at that, and Ortex doesn't show anything. So, yeah, that's interesting. This is correct. Thanks, Chris, for shouting out the coupon for the Stocks and Psychology of Money group link down below. Interesting to see the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 hit another record close. Really, I'm going to take a peek, though, at the middle range here. Let's see if we have anything here in the mid-range. See, Pinterest, too expensive for me. Plug Power is, in my opinion, Pow had earnings today? Interesting to me to see Plug start rotating back. We're almost at a double from the bottom there in May. Plug Power, to me, it's a little bit of a 2030s hydrogen play on commercial trucking, especially with the Renault partnership. So I've been a little torn on getting in on this one. Yeah, as far as Pow, they've done so well since the election. Let's go back here. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, Pow is a penny stock. Whoa, look at it. It was a penny stock, and all of a sudden it just took off. That's incredible. I'd have to look at the valuation of this thing. I don't have the terminal up right now, but I'd have to look at the valuation of this one. But that's, you got to give it to them. This is an incredible run. And people have been buying, weapons during COVID a lot more and bullets. It's incredible. But I don't know how much of that is just pre-pricing in future growth. I don't know. I'd have to really do a dive on that one. So thank goodness for talking. Yes. Neo is like $40 per short interest. Okay. All right. Okay. DocuSign sitting a little flat here at the 280s. Not a surprise since it was just like 2 weeks ago, the darn thing was at 280. Such an incredible mover. Look at that run. It's so beautiful, and it's been continuing the trend. Just a pop and a boom. Really, really, really incredible runner. DocuSign, love it. We've got Unity. Unity is one that's kind of been lagging, though. Look at that. You got this entire set of juice at Unity just gone. Just gone. A little bit higher than where we have been at the highs of May and March. So already pricing in some of the recovery. You know where you're not getting recovery really priced in yet, I believe, is, rally location. So the rallies locations will be announced within the next 24 hours. Right now, what you want to do is you just want to go sign up. So for example, if you want to go to any of the rallies, there are 10 rallies Fresno, San Jose, Santa Rosa, Sacramento, Chico, San Diego, Newport Beach, San Bernardino, Santa Monica, and Ventura. The rally locations will get officially announced within the next 24 hours. So they are, those are getting booked. So stay tuned for the exact location. And you should get an email. You just want to click here and you want to sign up for Eventbrite, but it'll be within these cities, of course. All right. So thanks for asking. Good question. All righty. So yeah, you can also download the Meet Kevin app. It gets you to Eventbrite to sign up for those rallies. But I look forward to seeing y'all at those rallies. Come on out. We'll do some giveaways too. It'll be fun. So what else do we have? Okay. We have, let's see. Okay. Bitcoin. I want to take a peek at Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin going to get out of its channel here? That's a big question for me right now. It's trying to. It's still trying to bob out of the channel. We'll see what happens. Is Bitcoin going to bob out, or are we going to stay stuck? Important to watch this. Okay, we've got Ashford Hospitality. I don't know. We've seen this. We've seen this one. I mean, this one's done so well, but it has been on a downtrend here. Tried bucking that downtrend, but it's almost heading back to that downtrend at the moment. Jivo, Fisker. Sorry. Fisker has had a nice recovery. Just looking for other opportunity. You know, the mortgage companies, still a little tough for me to get into these. Palantir. Here's another one. Palantir and Shift. These guys got to do some moving. Let's look at Palantir. That's a nice move, though, on Palantir. Good uptrend. We're getting stuck at about that 27 line right now. See if we can break out of this. I would expect within the next 6 months, we're going to have a nice breakout of Palantir. Get sort of a nice, a good solid projection here. We'll see. All right. What else? Churchill, Macy's, SoFi, Tech. Yeah, paying attention specifically to SoFi. So we'll keep paying attention here. Okay, cool. Well, I think that gives us a wrap up for the day at the market close. Appreciate y'all being here. It's fun to talk about stocks and some of my expectations and trends for all of these. If you like these, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure to check out the program's link down below and that 40% off coupon code. Get your 2 free stocks with Webull. Go to metkevin.com/Webull in the link down below. And you could use this platform as well, which I use every day, instantly trade on as well. It's Webull. Deposit $100. Use that link below, and they'll give you 2 totally free stocks worth up to $1,850. Thanks for watching, folks. See you in the next